Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Hi, peeps. I'm so excited because this is the first episode of the Planti Pod. Hooray! Insert applause here. Zohra will take care of that for us. My name is Josh. I am the founder of Planti Peeps, and I'm joined by the lovely Zohra.
Hi. Yes, I'm Zohra.
So with that said, the Planti Pod was something I've wanted to do forever. And I feel like we've talked about it for so long. It's been months since we've probably even started planning it. And then I feel like over a year since I was like, should I do a plant podcast? And you were like, do it.
And it's finally happening.
It's finally happening. So we are coming to you live. Not live when you probably listen to this, but live right now from the Planti Peeps shop here in Canberra in the ACT. This is a little business that I started almost 3 years ago. It's so crazy to say that out loud, but I feel like you've been around for literally almost the whole time.
Yeah. When it was online, and now we're in the shop.
Yeah, online, in the shop. We've done the markets, we've done the fairs, we've set up our own events, we've done a little bit of everything. And now here we are coming to you with our voices. Yeah, so the whole idea of the Planti Pod really is just this podcast where you can get these short little fun episodes, learn about plants, have people, if you love plants as much as we do, we are plant obsessed, I think both of us. You can just come in and just like listen and hear what other people think about different plants. We'll be doing some fun ranking videos and then sharing obviously on YouTube. So if you want to watch, you can watch on YouTube. We'll also have this on the blog on the website. So the Planti Pen. So you'll be able to see every episode. We'll post something there. And then assuming we can figure it out, Apple Podcast, Spotify, all of the other places you probably listen to your podcast. Zohra is going to be handling all of our editing. So I might be leaning on her for some of that.
Yeah. And some little TikToks, shorts, reels, just like little snippets from the podcast. But then this is the long thing.
Yeah. And by long, we mean like 10 to 15 minutes. You do not have to like sit down and be like, okay, I have to put the laundry in and load the dishwasher and fold the laundry. And no, you can probably listen to this while you're literally like brushing your teeth and like doing your skincare routine. And that's it.
ADHD-friendly podcast.
Yeah, we don't want to commit to anything longer than 10 to 15 minutes. So like I mentioned, we're coming to you from Planti Peeps here in Canberra, which is our physical shop, as you can see. And this really just came out of my vision to have this one place that you could get everything Planti. Like I noticed I couldn't buy everything from one place. And it really irked me because I felt like, why couldn't I get my nutrients or my fertilizers from the same place I got like pins and apparel? Or why couldn't I get my moss poles from the same place I got the pots I wanted? So that's really why I created the business. And because I was just plant obsessed and I just fell in this rabbit hole of plants and I was so into them and it was like my hobby, my passion, everything. So how I want to hear, because for me, I feel like it was a very fast and slippery slope. How did you get into indoor plants, Zohra?
Okay, so you were actually a big part of the beginning of this. Yeah, because I basically, the reason I got into them was like one of my friends was getting a new place and she was like, I want to buy like a plant. And I was like, why have I never like looked into this before? And I immediately just got so obsessed because she then got a fake plant and I was like, hold on, that's a problem. So then I was like, wait, there are so many like nice real plants. And I had a look and I had the same thing where I was just like, wait, where is all the kind of like all of the plant care, the plant artworks? Like I can't find like a place. And I found Josh's Instagram account and I was like scrolling and I was looking at all these videos and eventually I kind of got into getting plants. At the time, Josh didn't sell plants himself. So I was kind of doing a bunch of things. I was like getting plants from different places like IKEA, Bunnings, like your normal kind of places to get plants from. But then there wasn't really like a spot where I could put everything. And then I had to get a hold of some nutrients and I placed an order through Josh and then I met Josh and then it all came to be. And then like it just, ever since then, it's been like a few years and I've been obsessed with plants since then and it like hasn't stopped. So
yes, yeah. I am so glad that I was there. And I still remember Zohra was probably like, I think you probably ordered within the first 3 months I had the online business. And if you don't know, I know you know because you've been to my house. People used to pick up their orders literally outside of my apartment building. So I would literally bring it downstairs. So I did not share my apartment number. I was very smart to not do that. but I literally would take my elevator down and meet you out front. And that's where people pick their orders up. And I still have customers today who have shopped with us that long, but Zohra being one of them. And I still have the little pot you made me that has Planti Peeps on it. It sits in my window. Actually, no, it's not even my window. It's on my nightstand now because there's no plant in it. I think I've got pins and rings in it too.
Yeah, so exposed, I was a bit of a fan. So I was like, I'm going to make him like a present. So that I was so nervous the first time I went to pick up something. And he was so lovely. And then I was like, wait, I have to make him something.
Didn't I give you like random cuttings one time? I was like, I have too many cuttings. You need to take some of these.
This was the beginning of the journey. I was like, oh my God.
BFFs ever since.
Yeah, no, literally. Like, it wasn't even like a huge amount of time that like we started talking about like a physical space. We did markets. Like I helped out at a couple of markets and Josh was consistently doing like Bus Depot, the camera markets up here we have. And then people were like, wait, we love this.
Yeah, it was, I feel like my getting into plants was probably somewhat similar. So obviously, again, not from Australia. I moved here in 2020. What a year to move internationally and do all those fun things. But I got into plants because I lived in New York City and literally just had no space for anything. Like you pay out the wazoo and have no space to put anything. The apartment building, I even reference back to this sometimes. People were like, I can't believe you never owned plants. I had a spider plant in my old apartment in New York City. And that was the only thing I could keep alive because we didn't even get any direct light in our home. It was all light that bounced off other buildings because we lived in like a 60-story building with other buildings going up around us in Long Island City and Queens. Shout out Queens. So when I moved to Canberra, from New York City to Canberra, the big shock was how much more space we could afford when it came to renting and then eventually buying after a few months of living here and determining that Canberra was going to be our home, at least for the short, long-term amount of time. So yeah, we had a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, split level unit. And I was like, oh my God, there's all this space. And I was working from home at the time. Obviously, I did not always do this. So when I was working from home for the American beauty company I was at, I had all this space and was like, I feel like I need like life in here. There's just so boring. There's so much space. So I went and got a few plants from a local florist, not even a plant shop. You probably know I went to a florist in O'Connor and I got a few plants. And I remember it was 2 Monstera deliciosas. And I got 2 pots from them, and it was really expensive now that I think back, considering I know what they probably paid for those plants. And from there on, I remember trips to Bunnings and falling in love with going to Bunnings like on the weekends, or I'd finish up work early at like 3 or 4 p.m. and I'd go before my partner would get home so I could go get a plant. And exact same thing. It became like the hunt and the learning. And here on YouTube, if you're watching this on YouTube, I started watching like Plantarina. I was going to say rest in peace, but Amanda is still around. I just don't think Plantarina is. So it was just all these fun things. And I would literally start to like hunt for certain plants. And that's when I figured out what types of plants I liked, what types of plants I didn't. I killed a lot of plants. I think anybody who comes here in the shop, and you'll feel the same, you have to kill plants to become a good plant parent.
It's inevitable. It's a canon event. It's a canon plant event. Yeah, I had the same thing. I'd started a journal to like keep track of everything, and it became like this like guide of everything. And I was like, why? Like in my journal with my plants, I was keeping track of like each plant, but like very soon into it, I was like, so that one's dead and that one's dead. And that was like
your whole first page was like crossed out.
Literally. And I was like, oh no, I'm such a bad plant parent. But that was like the learning point for me. I was like, oh, now I get it.
I had a Google sheet. Because I was a little techie. So I had a Google sheet, and I still remember I think I stopped updating it after I had like 7 or 8 plants. But I put on there like cells for like how often I should water, which if you know anything about me, I am like the biggest advocate for do not have a watering schedule. If you're watching this, I'm looking at you now. Do not have a watering schedule. It is not real. It does not work that way. Nature does not work that way. Plants don't work that way. And yeah, so I had like all my plants on there. So I had like my golden pothos that I still have, my little deliciosas, and I had like a polka dot begonia. I had my first rabbit's foot fern that I still also have. So there were a lot of things on there. And I was like, this gets watered every 7 days. This gets watered every 10. I don't know what I was doing.
No.
And then it got to the point where I had too many plants. So I was like, girl, screw this.
Yeah, no, it's not worth it. My first plant was an elephant bush, a portulacaria.
Oh, I was like, girl, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, like some people call it like a jade plant as well.
See, yeah.
Jade.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had, and I still have her as well. They're hardy, but like, yeah, definitely no watering on a schedule. And we'll get into that. I'm sure it'll come up a lot because
we'll be sharing videos on a lot of beginner things because I feel like there's so many questions. And I think the shop has been so enlightening to me as somebody who's had an online business and then opened a brick and mortar business, because we get asked so many things in the shop that I think people are even too scared to like DM, because they're like, this might be like kind of stupid to like put it out to the universe in writing. But in person, people will fully be like, do I miss this? And they'll like, and I'm always happy to answer. So I think I'd rather have, as much as I'm like deep in the well and the rabbit hole of plants, and I could probably talk to you about like really intricate things, we'll have some fun, deeper videos for people who are super into plants. But I think a lot of beginner videos will be really important just for people who are learning and who are like, I'm afraid to ask. I want this to be like a resource for people where you might like bookmark some of these, because they're only going to be 10 or 15 minutes. They're not going to be like a 45-minute video and you have to be like, what did Josh say at 32:03? And then Zohra came back with that great tip at 41:04. No, we're not doing that.
We're consolidating everything. And also like the community aspect of it as well is not just specific to in person. There's also online. We'll be able to have and connect with people that way, which is very fun, because I know that a big part of me getting into them as well was I was just scrolling on Marketplace. You know, I love a Marketplace.
I did Marketplace, and I think I even told you I did, what was it before Marketplace was as big? There was the other app, Gumtree. If you're in Australia, you'll probably know what Gumtree is. I don't think Gumtree is a thing elsewhere. I had never heard of it until I moved to Australia, and I bought plants off of Gumtree. I'll never forget buying a pack of plants. I've told you about this, I'm pretty sure. I bought a 3-pack of plants because philodendron Birkins were really expensive. This was way back in 2020, and this person had a Birkin, some kind of peperomia, I think. I don't remember that one, but I distinctly remember there being a croton. And the croton, no matter what I did, was unhappy and always had fungus gnats. And some of the soil was like sand, and like it just, I literally threw it away. I was like, I will never buy one of these. And fun fact, I have never bought one, and we have never carried them in the shop.
Sorry if you're a croton fan. Yeah. Probably that's the one you probably won't find here. Like maybe very rare, but it's not. No. We can't. Yeah, I made so many mistakes with that because I would scroll Marketplace, I would like find these plants, but then I didn't really know what I was doing until I met Josh, and we had this community where I was like, wait, this isn't a dumb question. Like inevitably you will mess up and stuff, but then you realize like, the mistakes are normal.
No, you grow a green thumb. It is really true. Like you have to like kill plants. You have to make mistakes. If you're new to plants, one of the things I always tell people, if you get like a trailing or an easy to propagate plant, like just when you get home, cut off like 2 or 3 leaves, put them in water. I know you're like, why am I doing that? It's like your like safety nest. Like you just have it waiting in the wings. So if something goes wrong with your plant, you have a few propagations to go.
100%. That was like also a big thing. I felt like a little scientist with my little propagations and glass vessels. I was like, this is
jars. Every like cottage jam jar.
Yeah. No, I'm saving this.
Yeah, you had the windowsill filled with jars. Meanwhile, half of the plants were fully not rooting. You were like, she's coming. I feel it. So I don't want this to be like Josh's podcast where I just take over and talk about things I want to talk about. I want to hear from all of you, wherever we're looking at the time. What do you want to hear from us? Like if there's certain topics you feel like you're missing out on, leave them in the comments, whether it's on YouTube, send us a DM on any of our socials. I want this to be a valuable resource for everybody versus it just being like us promoting Planti Peeps.
Definitely like a place for everyone to engage. If you have questions, we like advice, like I know we have a bunch of ideas, but it's equally give and take.
Okay, I think that's the end of our intro episode. We'll probably do like a tiny little like teaser of like a 1 minute, that because I think when you post these, you have to have like a little 1 minute like welcome to the pod. But this is like the first official episode. So if you want to know more, you can check out plantipeeps.com.au. We ship Australia wide. We have a brick and mortar store here in Fishwick. We're open Thursday through Sunday every week. So if you come other days, I'll probably be in here, but we are not open. I'm probably packing those online orders or making chunky and funky mix and doing all the things to keep us operating as per normal. You can give us a follow on socials. You can sign up to become a Planti Pen Pal, where we offer some special promotions twice a month. Our Planti Pen Pals get promotions that we don't offer anywhere else. So that's where you get the best details.
And like share with your friends as well, especially if you're trying to get them into plants.
Drop the hint, be like, hey Diva, your pothos looks rough. Maybe you should watch this video.
Let me link you something.
That's it. We did it.
Excited.
I can't wait to hear what everybody thinks. Zohra, thank you as always.
Thank you.
And we'll chat with all of you peeps again soon.
Yay.